What up, guys? Mad Viking here. Whoops. Here we go. Mad Viking back. This is a news video, vlog, whatever. A lot of good stuff, a lot of old stuff, but I'm going to jump right into it. I got 2 pages of stuff here. Impact, Scarlett Bordeaux, I think it's Bordeaux, debuted this last episode. Never seen her before, don't know who she is. She's basically kind of got like a Sable / Emelina gimmick. She said she's bringing back women's rights to wrestling and bringing, I can't remember, hotness back into wrestling or sexiness. I don't remember. Didn't see her wrestle, but she is kind of funny. I forget what she said. The interviewer, her, is pretty hot. She's like, you need to shut up at tennis speaking. And that got a big reaction. But like I said, she kind of reminds me of Sable. So be on the lookout for her. I guess she's the new addition to the women's division. Like I said, some of this is old. Ronda Rousey used to be the pre-order downloadable character on, what is it, 2K19? TK? Whatever. I don't know if I'm buying this year's one. It's the Ric Flair edition or something. It just didn't even look appealing to me. I don't even know some of the stuff you're getting. It just looks like cardboard pictures of him. I guess I have to wait longer to see what it is, but I'm probably not getting it. And they make these games so damn hard, I can't play them. You know, to spend $100 and something just for a review on a crap game, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing it or not. I think it's already been announced. Not positive, but Caitlyn has been announced to be entering into the Mae Young Classic. Maria Kanellis also dropped hints that she was going to be in it too, because isn't it supposed to be past, present, and future? I know Maria just had a baby, but I don't know how long ago, and I don't even remember the last time she wrestled. She was in TNA, but I don't remember her wrestling. She scuffled and stuff. So it's been a long time since she's wrestled in a ring. Yeah, this kind of old. Nikki Cross has been turning up on SmackDown house shows, but she has not been called up. We also saw her on Raw when it was announced for the all-women's pay-per-view. Oh, yeah, I don't think they mentioned this on TV, but part of what it's going to be a part of that pay-per-view is some sort of a tournament, tag team tournament, and then they're going to introduce women's tag team titles, which are supposed to supposedly be defended on WWE, Raw, NXT, the UK division, and probably anywhere else they're affiliated, but I don't think they're going to push them any farther than that, being defended. Like, they're not going to show up on Evolve, but who knows. I don't think this really even was mentioned or picked up any news, but Jim Ross was injured at the G1, early in the G1. Whose match was it? Juice Newton versus Jay White. And they were fighting outside the ring, and one section of the barricade wasn't connected or something, and it was Newton, I believe, that threw Jay White threw Newton into the barricade. The barricade slammed into the announce table, and it hit Jim Ross, and it supposedly broke his rib. And I saw the video. This wasn't a stunt. Jim Ross legitimately got hurt, which led to his partner. I can't even think of his Mike. I think it's a Bennett, the ex-MMA fighter. He was on TNA last year. He got into the ring and actually got in the face of Jay White. I haven't heard anything else about it because, I mean, New Japan news is not exactly flowing through the dirt sheets. But Jim Ross, he was supposed to have broken 2 or 3 ribs. Josh Barnett, that's his name. Let's see, I was right. I should have just went a little farther. Of course, if you don't know, the firing squad, which was Tama Tonga and his brother and his father, turned on the Bullet Club. They made their own side faction, Bullet Club. But it was leaving out some of the other remaining members, like Bad Luck Fale. And Bad Luck Fale made it soon after that he was with the Tongans. But that shouldn't have been real hard to figure out, considering he is of Samoan descent. So he was probably going to go join them. I know Bone Soldier is still floating around. Where's his allegiance? And Kima Luau, or whatever his name is, the big Hawaiian kid. I know he's in Bullet Club, but you never see him in group pictures. He's kind of like what Cody Hall was. Never saw Cody Hall wrestle for Bullet Club, but he was in Bullet Club. He was considered a young boy. I think I'm saying the guy's name, though. Tamahalu, or I don't know. But those two are still floating around as potential people to join the firing squad, which, other than Bad Luck Fale, no more people have jumped. But it's probably because Bone Soldier's been in America filming with Impact. Paul Heyman is supposedly being given a backstage role as a writer. Probably why we saw Lesnar jump Heyman this past week on Raw. Of course, Lesnar's going back to UFC at some point to start training. And WWE, I've said it all along, they seem to just hate managers now all of a sudden. Paul Heyman's one of their best acts, and apparently they don't seem to know that. Why wouldn't he go on to manage somebody else instead of just wait for a year or two until Lesnar comes back from UFC to bring Heyman back? But if Heyman's going to be writing again, Heyman, he did great things in the past when he wrote for the WWE. He upshined Stephanie McMahon writing on the SmackDown team years ago, and SmackDown actually surpassed Raw on the ratings, and they rewarded his great writing skills and great show-making ability by firing him. So, I don't know how long this will last. Oh, God, I forgot about this. Farrah Abraham, Team Mom whore, porn star, claims she is getting into professional wrestling. Probably because she was kicked off Team Mom. I'm pretty sure she was kicked off Team Mom after last season. She basically helped turn the show into Jerry Springer, but the show has been Jerry Springer now for a few seasons. My take is on it, she just must think the indie scene is pouring with cash, or she thinks that the WWE is just going to sign her because she's Farrah Abraham. I mean, look how they treated China. They love the porn industry. I mean, if you don't know, Farrah Abraham sells rubber buttholes and vaginas that are molded after her own. So I'm really sure the WWE is going to have some interest in her. Or Impact, right? No, no one's going to sign her. She'll be like an indie thing if she makes it. But she is such a liability with her mouth and attitude. She was recently arrested in Vegas for assaulting security guards and police officers at the Beverly Hills Hilton, or whatever the hell it is. When she was asked to leave, she'd spent all day there getting drunk or something. And then she tried crying when she got arrested. If you don't know, she runs her mouth obsessively and pushes people's buttons. She's going to do that on the indie scene somewhere, and some indie girl is going to beat her ass, and then she's going to try to sue the company or whatever she can get out of it. I don't see her getting anywhere in the wrestling industry, but I thought that was hilarious, and I thought I'd mention it. Farrah Abraham thinks she's getting into wrestling. Of course, Hogan is back. Old news here. He was reinstated in the WWE Hall of Fame. WWE released a statement, and for some reason, Titus O'Neil thought he needed to release a statement of his own. Titus barely has a job, but he thinks he should be pushing buttons and whatever. And so did Xavier Woods, if I remember right, with New Day releasing a statement for the group. I mean, are those guys really shocked that Hogan's back? The biggest guy in their company's history. Yeah, he did something stupid. It's not like he went and got a podium and held a microphone up in the middle of nowhere, or I mean, in the middle of like Times Square, and started spouting that off. He did it in privacy, in a private conversation with his friend's wife, and they leaked the tape out after their friendship dissolved. Yeah, like I said, he messed up, but it doesn't mean you erase somebody's history with the company. I mean, Jimmy Snuka is not erased, and he murdered his girlfriend, so, you know, New Day and Titus O'Neil need to get over it and shut up, and I think they have gotten over it, but Hogan's back, whatever. David Arquette returns to the ring recently for the NWA is associated with Hollywood of Wrestling of Hollywood Wrestling. I watch it on some weird channel on Saturday nights, but I haven't watched it in forever. But he came back and he decked out for the appearance. He had like a Ric Flair type-esque robe, and he lost in an effort to RJ City, and was jumped afterwards. And he's been making appearances on Billy Corgan's NWO videos they make, so I don't know if he's wrestling now or what, but I thought that was interesting. He is back. He put some effort into it, and he was wrestling for an NWA whatever show. Tessa Blanchard signs a long-term deal with Impact, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with Ricochet recently being signed with NXT, because they broke up soon after he signed, and the breakup was supposed to be said to be very, very bad. And I guess she doesn't want to be anywhere near him. No terms of the deal have been released, but a long-term deal, I'd assume it's at least 2-3 years, maybe longer. And she is currently probably the top. Well, Su Yung is the top. She's got the title, but she's definitely on top of the heap of the women's division there. Kelly rumors are swirling again for a return. She was used twice in the last year at the Women's Royal Rumble and the 25th anniversary show. The last time she was supposedly going to be coming back, she was going to be on Total Divas. I forget why she backed out, but she backed out. That was a year at least ago, but now supposedly her name's being kicked around again. Yeah, this is kind of old. I was reporting that James Ellsworth is not under contract. He's only working on a day-to-day basis. Of course, he had an on-screen firing by Paige, but it is not to be the end of James Ellsworth, and I really didn't think it was going to be. Like I said just a few minutes ago, the WWE seems to hate managers or people like that. I think his role, it was good for what it was this last time. And I think he's an asset to the company. I love his stick that he does with the women wrestlers. Like, oh, you're undressing me with your eyes. I know you want me. I think that crap is hilarious. But apparently he will be brought back to keep building. So if he's going to be continued to be brought back, obviously Carmella's not losing anytime soon, which I would think she was going to lose at SummerSlam, but probably not, because James Ellsworth will. I'm not saying he's coming back at SummerSlam, but apparently he will be returning for a pay-per-view to pay-per-view basis. So expect more of the Chinless Wonder. Ring of Honor won their battle with the WWE to run in Madison Square Garden during WrestleMania weekend for Supercard. The WWE initially got their first date canceled, which they shouldn't have done, because all it did was piss Ring of Honor off, and they contacted Madison Square Garden, told them they were going to sue. Madison Square Garden didn't put up any fight, and I don't know why they really bowed down to the WWE, because they had released a statement recently how they were open to working with other companies. So expect that during WrestleMania weekend. That'll be a great show. CM Punk, Ring of Honor is also reaching out to CM Punk for the event in Madison Square Garden, even if it's for one night. But Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling have been contacting Punk for a possible wrestling return in 2019 for their battle with the WWE, and he would be a great asset. He would be great. And imagine if Daniel Bryan doesn't re-sign with the WWE, which I'm hoping he doesn't. The tide would turn. And then, and I love Ring of Honor. I don't know why people don't watch it. I shouldn't say don't watch it. People do watch it. The ratings are up. They have their own network now. New Japan's network has been around for a while, and their subscribers are up. They're on the rise. But man, those would be two good bullets to have in your gun against the WWE. Controversy with the upcoming Ronda Rousey figure. This is hilarious. Well, if you haven't noticed, you can find her figure's animated photo on my Instagram, the Mad Viking. First off, the face scan is god-awful. It kind of looks like Lita's face with somebody else's hairstyle. But not only that, she's got huge jugs. Ronda Rousey doesn't have huge jugs. And it's not over there, folks. If you go down a little bit farther down south, her figure has a huge camel toe, a huge moose knuckle. So I'm not expecting any of this to make it into the toy, but who knows? They seem to make the same mold for every chick except for the Nia Jax figure, which is around here somewhere. But like every female mold is basically the same. Super tiny waist, big nugs. I don't know, and a butt. But yeah, if you want to see this controversial figure, like I said, go check it out on my Instagram. New Japan offers ex-UFC star who had a record of 9-3 and a Bellator competitor, Matt Riddle, a contract, but WWE was also after him. He's been big on the indies since 2014. Supposedly, he was a side project of Triple H. Triple H saw him, instantly loved him, but wanted him to gain more time on the indie scene. He told Evolve to bring him in and start using him, but he's been everywhere. Except maybe New Japan. But it seems the WWE won, and he signed supposedly with the WWE. God, he would have been another great asset too. And I know people are like, "Who's Matt Riddle?" Because you're a mark for the WWE, and you don't know who else exists outside of their bubble. Matt Riddle, if he goes to NXT, which I'm sure he's going to, you're going to start seeing him pretty soon. And he's an amazing wrestler. I would put him up there with like Will Ospreay and Ricochet. So be on the lookout for Matt Riddle if he keeps his name anyway. WWE is also interested in Juice Newton, which I think is hilarious. He's the current New Japan Pro Wrestling United States champion. He was CJ Parker in NXT. He was fired unceremoniously a few years back. He went to New Japan, became a huge star, and now, of course, WWE wants him back. Well, he's made a few promos now after his G1 matches, and especially after he won the United States title in New Japan, about WWE and about NXT, and he basically how WWE doesn't place importance on titles and how they treated him. He basically said he would never go back. So I wouldn't expect Juice Newton anytime soon to be showing up on WWE TV unless they threw huge money at him, and I don't think it's happening. I don't think they're going to throw huge money at him. Mickie James challenges Trish Stratus for the Evolution pay-per-view. Bayley challenges Lita for the Evolution pay-per-view. Hopefully Lita's in shape and has been training, because I saw her first match back in the ring last year for some indie show, and she looked god-awful. It was a comedy match, too. Oh, yeah. 4 major contracts set to expire soon. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. I would say 3 of those 4 men are definitely not happy with their roles in WWE. Shinsuke has even recently started griping, saying he's going to leave when his contract's up, because he wasn't happy with the way he was being treated in the company and having no success so far. And right after he did that, lo and behold, he wins the United States title. Now, if you don't remember last year, I think it was SummerSlam, John Cena actually shot down him winning the SmackDown World title that he was supposed to win. And I'm sure that's been on his mind since then, too. But now he's the United States champion. I don't think it's going to change anything much if he really plans on leaving. He would be huge for New Japan if they got him back, considering now they have a role or a foothold in the United States. WWE's done a real good job of using him in the last couple of years. They may not have been rewarding him for it. I think he only makes $170,000 a year. That's chump change, man. Chump change. And his net worth is supposed to be, I forget what it was, $4.5 million or something. That's from New Japan. So, you know, WWE, he's been with the WWE for 3 years, so he's made a little over $600,000. That's not real good. And I could see Anderson and Gallows going back and rejoining the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club even openly has said they miss them and would take them back any day. So it's going to be, we all know AJ is perfectly happy where he's at, but it's going to be interesting to see if anything happens, if anybody leaves, if anybody jumps. That would be big. AJ Styles sides with the firing squad in the ongoing Bullet Club war at San Diego Comic-Con when asked what side is he choosing, Team Omega or Team Tamatanga? And his only reply was, well, when I left there, those guys beat the crap out of me, so I'm with the Tongans. And it got a really weird reaction from the crowd. So AJ is siding with the Tongans. Oh, recently Cody and the Young Bucks won the 6-man tag team titles from the Kingdom. The Bucks now hold Ring of Honor, IWGP, and the Never Open 6-man tag team titles. They're dripping in gold once again. I think at this point in their career, it is more than safe to say they are the greatest tag team ever in pro wrestling. And it doesn't mean because you didn't come to the WWE and win a tag team championship once that they are not the greatest tag team ever. It's definitely the Dudley Boys next, but the Dudley Boys went to New Japan and won the belts like once. They didn't win in Ring of Honor. They went to TNA and won them in TNA, but the Young Bucks won them in TNA too. But the Young Bucks have been winning titles everywhere, and not once or twice, multiple times. And now they're winning these 6-man tag team belts, which are becoming all the rage on the Indies, in Mexico, and in Europe. So I would say the Young Bucks, greatest tag team alive. But now they're holding that title, I think, for the second time this year. And this now with Cody making this Cody's second title win. Second title ever held in Ring of Honor. And it looks like he's got a really good chance of becoming the NWA World Heavyweight Champion at All In. And the Kingdom was not happy after that loss. I already said that. Okay, today could be a very big day for Kane. He is going to be possibly voted in as mayor of the city of Knoxville. God, I think it's Tennessee. South Carolina. So, well, I guess we'll probably know by tomorrow morning. Hogan hints at an NWO reforming in the WWE. My last news report, I told you the WWE was kicking around the idea of reforming the NWO, but with Kevin Nash leading the group. Kevin Nash would be more mobile, more useful as the leader of the group, or they could have, I guess, Hogan and Nash kind of like quasi-leaders, or both just making random appearances. I don't know. But Hogan on his Twitter made a very telling video that he's possibly coming back in. I don't know what to think of it. I don't even know if they put Roman Reigns in this group, it's doomed. But it would be interesting if it really happens, who they're going to do it with. And, of course, if they do it, it's only because they're doing it to compete with the Bullet Club. You're foolish if you think otherwise. But we'll see what happens. Matt Hardy hinting at retiring with his brother Jeff. I don't know what type of a contract they signed with the WWE. But Matt Hardy has definitely been on a decline since June. He's lost every match he's been in. They lost the tag team titles to the B Team. They lost their rematch to the B Team. They lost this last week to the Revival, which isn't horrible, but they lost in a horrible fashion. Matt Hardy, since he finally got to be the Woken character, the WWE really has done nothing with it. And I didn't really think they were going to, because if they made vignettes and stuff like that, like the Impact and Ring of Honor did, that would make Matt look like a big, huge star in the WWE. He's a star, but they're not going to make him a huge star. They're not going to make him a huge focus. I mean, even their deletion match or whatever at his compound was probably the weakest video that they've made of the Woken, broken character. I don't know. If they signed a year-long contract, then, yeah, they could be... Well, no, they wouldn't be leaving anytime soon because they came back at WrestleMania. So I don't know. But he's hinting at retiring, and he's hinting that Jeff is going to be leaving with him. So who knows? And on his Twitter, he's basically hinting they're leaving. He told Bray on Twitter that their partnership is done. He posted a picture of him and Matt leaving out of the stadium at their last pay-per-view. So who knows? He's definitely trolling or trying to. Ambrose to reform his tag team with Rollins when he comes back. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. Supposedly he was going to be back by the time of the Royal Rumble. That's been pushed back now. He's been at the Performance Center for the last 6 to 8 weeks training. Supposedly now... No. He was supposed to be back by SummerSlam. My bad. Now they're saying by the Royal Rumble. And like I said, they're supposed to reform their tag team, which will lead to him turning heel on Rollins for his long-awaited heel turn. It might be good to see him as a heel, but do we really want to see that stupid tag team again? David Artunga scares off a car thief in his gym parking lot. He went to his car after a workout, he says, and found a guy in his car stealing his shit. And he thought in his head, does this guy have a knife? Does this guy have a gun? Well, he didn't give him any chance to reach for anything. He said he yoked him out of the car, had him up in the air, and the guy begged him for mercy. And he claims he let the guy go, and the guy scampered off when he got in his car. Oh, and the guy started throwing the stuff that he had, I guess, hidden in his clothes that he was trying to steal, and gave it back to Artunga, and then ran off. And then when Artunga went to get in his car, he noticed there was a giant knife sitting on the arm rest of the car door. So the guy did have something on him. He just didn't have anything on him to defend himself. So yeah, David Artunga fought off a car thief recently. Jason Jordan, when he returns, it was first reported he was coming back any day because I guess they jacked him up on some magic potion like they did with John Cena. But it's been pushed back because apparently he's not healing as much as they thought he was. But when he does return, he's going to reform his tag team with Chad Gable and reform American Alpha. I guess that's a good thing. Maybe that'll end the Kurt Angle BS storyline because that was pretty far-reaching, was it not? And it was getting to be annoying. I already mentioned Ellsworth. John and Nikki split up. I think this is legit. She finally moved her crap out of his house in Tampa, and that was something she hadn't done all along. She had an apartment like a mile from his house, and she had somewhere. They have a house in San Diego, and she was supposed to be living there too. But I guess even though they supposedly made up on the show, he hasn't been around because he's been filming and doing work or projects all over the globe. She basically said he's been gone and there hasn't been a relationship and supposedly broke up. We'll see. I think this is all for TV and to keep Bella's going. But supposedly they're over with, and really I don't care. Aleister Black, injured at a house show in Vegas, requires surgery. It was said, fighting Tommaso Ciampa, and it was said the injury was to be very scary. So he's going to be out who knows how long. We don't even know what type of injury it is, but he's supposed to have been hurt. Big Cass is announced for his first indie date with a new name. Big Kaz with Z's. Also on the card is supposed to be the Powers of Pain, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Emma, Foley, Dreamer, and James Ellsworth. So yeah, he's back to big. That's quite a card, but he's back on the indie scene. Mysterio being pushed by the WWE to miss All In and the Jericho Cruise. He hasn't signed anything, and he's playing hardball supposedly. He has no more dates until early September, aka All In. So expect him sometime soon in the next month or so, if he really signs, but we'll see. Daniel Bryan is getting his way with the WWE with his contract status. One of the things he wants in his contract is to have a lighter work schedule, touring schedule. He's being pulled off of house shows. I believe it's every other weekend, so that he can be home with his family more often. He still hasn't signed his contract. Health update with Takahashi. He was the dude who got injured early in the G1. He was the junior heavyweight champion of New Japan. He broke his neck in a match. Said he is at least going to be out for 9 months to heal neck. No nerve damage. He will be able to start working out and training again, possibly in 6 months. His title will be addressed after the G1. And he did have a pretty scary bump. If you haven't seen that, go look it up on YouTube. And this is just ridiculous here. Some loser probably went after Cedric Alexander after he made some comments about Neville on Twitter. And somebody dug up comments that he and Ty Dillinger and a few other wrestlers were making with each other 6+ years ago, having a conversation about rape, but it was being made jokingly, like saying it's not rape if the person's sleeping. I can't remember the rest of the comments, but it was supposed to be like a tweet thing with their friends. I guess Ty was involved in it, and so was Alexander. And now they were forced to publicly apologize for this. On YouTube, it's pretty evident that no one gives a shit, and I think it's pretty petty that some loser scrolled through 6 years of tweets to find something to, quote, be offended for. That's what it was. Somebody found it and was offended over them over the last weekend. You know, I don't care if you're offended. The world doesn't exist not to offend you. Yeah, was the jokes in bad taste, but who cares? It was 6 years ago. So, yeah, they had to both publicly apologize. Nothing's going to happen to them, but they had to apologize for some loser digging up their past. Also, on Twitter, I don't know what it is with Roman Reigns. We all know, what was it, last year he was in a feud with the Young Bucks on Twitter. But now he commented on something from Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga fired back, "You ain't shit, bitch." And then, of course, Roman tweeted back, "That sounds like a Drake song or something." And apparently this has been going on. They've been firing back and forth at each other for a while now since then. Obviously, Roman Reigns, I don't know what it is, but he feels the need to go and fight with the competition. Nobody's backing him in this little Twitter feud, and it looks pretty pathetic that he has to go and attack the Bullet Club, which makes me think if the NWO is reforming, Roman Reigns will be like the Hogan. But we'll see. I find it hard to believe they're going to resurrect the NWO. They treated it like crap the first time around. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. I got about a minute and a half left on here. Anything on here that sparked your interest, let me know. Hit like, leave a comment, subscribe. Hit the notification button if you like this, share this. Help me grow the channel. Don't know what else to say. Probably going to do an unboxing or something tomorrow. I've got to start unboxing or moving some of this stuff around. You always hear me say that. But yeah, I was going to do an unboxing video tonight before I went to work, but this is better and no effort was involved. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Mad Viking out. Catch you guys probably tomorrow. Peace.